Hey everyone, welcome to another macro photography video. Today I'm out here in my local forest for one of the first times this year, and the first proper signs of spring are showing. Lots of buds are open, lots of the first light green leaves are starting to show, and I'm out here today to test out this new little flash here, the Godox iT32, but more details on that later. Before I get into taking any photos, there's a few things that I think are worth mentioning about this flash. First of all, as you can see, it's really quite small, which is nice because it's light and doesn't take up that much space and doesn't weigh that much, though I am a little bit worried about how bright the flash will be or how fast it will be able to recycle for focus stacking. But the most interesting and unique feature about this flash is that I can leave the hot shoe attached as it is and take the body and the head of the flash off like this. And this little bit here that remains on the camera, which has these magnets on it that attach the flash to it, actually functions as a wireless flash transmitter, which means that I can put the flash on the camera and take it off the camera seamlessly, and the flash works immediately off camera like this, or just works as a regular flash like this. And this is quite a cool feature that I've never seen before on any other flash, and I think will enable a bit more quicker switching and more creativity as far as lighting angles than if I had to fumble around with some kind of big wireless flash transmitter. To start off with, I would just go with a couple of standard macro images with the flash on diffuser on camera, and I've modified an old diffuser here to work with this flash, and also so that it is not attached to the lens, so that I can do this without having to detach anything from the lens. And while it does feel quite springy, there's not that many insects out and about yet, so I will have to resort to my usual winter technique of looking underneath pine bark. And I'm not seeing much here right now other than woodlice, which are not the most exciting necessarily, but will make a good first test subject for this flash. Unsurprisingly, the single image portrait worked here no problem, and I was able to get a small series of images for a focus stack, but at 1/32 power, the flash did miss a few frames towards the end, so I would have to use a lower flash power to get a proper stack here and compensate with ISO or aperture. I also shot a small focus stack of this little leaf beetle under the same piece of bark, and by turning the flash power down, I was able to get a good stack, though I had to use quite a high ISO. So while this flash may not be as suitable for focus stacking, I think it would work well for me personally just for documentation images, and as well as this also for larger subjects. And one thing that I don't photograph that often that I think this would work well for is flowers. And right around me where I'm sitting, there's quite a lot of these lovely little purple ground ivy flowers, which I like a lot. And I've picked out one right here with a nice bit of moss in the background. And just keeping the flash on camera, I think that looks quite nice. But I think it would look nicer if I use the feature of this flash to be able to take off and use it off camera and go for a bit more of a side-on angle for the lighting. And if I shoot the same exact angle, something like that, I think that that's quite nice. Maybe instead of this, I will go from the other side, cover the flower a little bit more, and hold the flash down so that the angle is better. As you saw, I was able to get a small focus stack of that ground ivy flower, and I'm going to try a similar image here of these red dead nettles right here. And I think I found a flower or a group of flowers where I've got a nice angle on them. I can carefully place the flash in here to get that similar side lighting. And while it's a bit windy for a focus stack, I think that this will make a quite nice shot on its own. Along with these wider images, I think that my favorite from that day might be this much more close-up detail image of the inside of the petal of one of the red dead nettle flowers. So I'm back out in the woods. It's been about a week since I filmed the first part of this video, and I have the Godox iT32 with me again, this time with a very improvised diffuser I made out of a pizza box this morning. You can see that this diffuser has a much smaller diffusion surface at the front, and the idea with this is mostly to be able to just have the light a bit more focused in one spot, and I can place it off camera quite close to the subject like this. And while this setup, if I put it on the camera, won't work very well, I think that this flash isn't that suited to that type of macro photography anyway, and that it's much more interesting to be able to be creative with the direction of the light. So I've found something that I think I will be able to get some better images of using this off-camera flash setup, which is a slightly more staged image than I would usually take, but this is, I believe it's a molt of a woodlouse, so the shed skin, and it looks quite like white and almost ghostly. I've got the flash set up here to the side so that it's quite dramatically lit from the side and most of it is in shadow, and I'm just gonna come in from this angle, and this will be a little bit of a portrait. Here you can see what the image looks like for a single shot, and in this case I'm going to try a small focus stack as well. Somehow dead woodlice appear to be becoming a bit of a theme in this video. There's quite a large number of woodlice here, which I think are caught in some kind of spider's web. And I'm gonna just experiment with a few different angles of side lighting for this, just placing the flash and diffuser on the ground. So I'm just gonna go for a basic sort of top-down shot, something like this. And this is the lighting coming from the bottom right on my side. Here from the bottom left, which I kind of like because I want it to be quite dramatic. If I go from the top left, or quite directly on the left side, from the top, and from the right side. And I'm not quite sure which of these I like the most, but it's a fun experiment to try out a few different options. And I will have a look through those now and maybe take a focus stack of my favorite. One thing I don't photograph very often, but I feel like I really should, is moss. Because while this moss here on this small piece of wood might not look that interesting if you look at it from a bit further away, once you get closer and look at the spore capsules, for example, they have this really, really cool structure. And I've got my flash set up here, firing onto a very specific group of these moss spore capsules. And if I can find these ones here, with this backlighting, I think that that makes quite a nice looking image, and I'm just going to try and get a small focus stack here. I really had fun using this more directional lighting setup to bring out the details in some more abstract textural images, such as the structure of these really cool looking dead decaying leaves on a fallen log. Another one of my favorites is this absolutely tiny liverwort here, which looks really cool, and I like how the side lighting brings out the textures in the final focus stack. So I think in the end I was able to get a couple of decent images with this flash setup, and I do think that this kind of diffuser where it's a lot more focused and focusing on shooting off camera like this is a better use of this flash than with my modified Cygnus Tech setup from last time and trying to use it kind of like my main flash for focus stacking. So I think that this could be an interesting bit of equipment that I could maybe take with me as an additional flash to my main Godox V863, which I use for most of my high magnification shooting, and just to have an option for more flexible off-camera lighting, or even to use as a second point or second light source in photos. There's a few things that I found a bit annoying using this flash. First of all, I find the display and menu interface to be sometimes not quite that intuitive. This is maybe also just something to get used to, but I tend to prefer the manual button interfaces on other flashes. And also, there's a wheel here on the side, and it is very, very easy to accidentally bump this wheel while shooting and change the brightness of the flash. But otherwise, I think it's a cool bit of equipment, and also just a really cool concept to be able to take it on and off camera and seamlessly switch between on-camera and off-camera flash shooting. So yeah, thank you very much to Godox for sending this flash over to test and for your support. And thank you to all of you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.